Bandana.
You know, don't you usually have a little a man
you still gotta
standing
bend down
there
though,
waiting
huh?
for you?
Yes,
a man
indeed,
kneeling on the
indeed.
floor.
Yeah, I didn't
Yes.
want to make people feel like
This is what kills me though. With me, I set it down right here, at, like elbow level. Watch poor Djimon over here. Watch what he has to do.
elbow level.
Look at it. Oh, God, the
Honey.
wrist.
Ow.
Yes, the wrist. Just
Goodness.
You got to be
So I feel like it's not every day that you should go to a movie and then come out feeling inspired, wanting to actually do something
That's
for
right.
somebody else.
That's right.
For you guys, taking on this film, is that like the joyous feeling that you wanted to give out?
yes.
That's really well put.
Ultimately,
I
yes.
think that's how everybody on the set felt every day.
Yes.
We all were there for the same reason. We
Yeah.
wanted to see this book become a film, so that you know the legacy of the Debbie's legacy of giving would
As we were changing lives, making a movie, we
Yeah.
were changing lives. We were affecting,
Yeah.
a very deprived neighborhood as well.
Yes,
And,
transforming a mission
transforming the
and
mission.
documenting transforming that mission as part of our filming experience. We didn't build sets. They,
that's amazing. I
Michael
didn't know
Carney.
that.
Yeah, so you see the documentation of the, how the mission improves, and you can see they were actually transforming the building. They were, they refurbished the kitchen so that they could better serve the community. They didn't have air conditioning, and in Jackson, Mississippi, that matters in the summertime. They weren't able to keep the lights on because the electrical stuff wasn't up to code, and they changed all of that in making this film. So it was not just about the
We loved
message
it.
of the
Yeah, it
book,
was
but
good. It's good.
yeah, it was a really cool reason to make a film,
Now, well, let's talk about the lady who kind of it starts at the top, and that's with Debbie. Talk about playing such an amazing woman like that. She was,
Yeah.
honestly, she's inspiring to watch. Like, she started with kind of a tragic thing happening to her, but it
Yes.
turned into something beautiful.
Yes, that's true. What a good woman. People have asked, did you stay in character? And I'm thinking, yeah, well, I'd like to for the rest of my life if I could. I mean, what a beautiful person to have committed her life to changing the lives of other people who, are in unfortunate situations, who are sometimes ignored, living on the fringes of society. And because of her and her decision to make a difference, with her husband and Denver Moore, Denver and Ron went on to write this book and tell the story about what they did and what they achieved with their work, and they went on to raise about $100 million for homeless charities. I mean, it's extraordinary.
Let's talk about Ron, because I mean, you have a very big arc in this movie. Your character starts off as this rich guy who doesn't really want to do anything for anyone else, and then all of a sudden you guys spark up a friendship, and then your worlds are changed.
Yeah. He's, he was very honest about that when I first sat down with him and sort of talking about where he was in his life when this indiscretion happened, and how Debbie sort of surprisingly pulled him into something that he wasn't ready for and he wasn't prepared for. When you're insulated by money and comfort and all of that, it's an easy thing to avoid, actually putting yourself out there. And of course he does that thing that anybody does. He wants to write a check. Here's a check for some money to help this thing, these causes that you have. And that's not good enough for her. And ultimately he's somebody who found himself forced at first to engage with action and with his hands, and then ultimately I think he learns that gave him something, and the relationships obviously between all three of these people is quite remarkable, just from a character study as well.
Now, Djimon, before you started acting, I actually read that you had been homeless for a while. So what was that like, kind of taking on a character that was very intense with his homelessness?
Well, I like to think that my experiences, growing up in Paris and being homeless briefly, just about a year, did not match Denver Moore's, life experience. Definitely not.